Hello everybody, this is Luna Claire Astrology from lunaclaire.com. Thank you very much for joining me here today, where I'm going to talk about the energies, the upcoming energies in the month of August. So how I structured this video is usually at the beginning of the video, I'm talking about the general energies, the energies on the collective, and what are the main aspects that we have to watch out for or work on in the upcoming months. And then I'm going to break it down to all 12 signs. Now I use whole sign astrology, where from your ascendant it becomes the first house, the second sign from your ascendant becomes the second house, and so forth. To watch my prediction and to take the most out of this prediction, it is highly recommended that you watch it for your ascendant, for your rising sign. If you don't know what is that, I will put a link down below. Please go to my website and you can cast your chart and you can find all that information there. With that also comes an ebook that will give you a little bit of understanding of the main things what you should look in astrology when you're looking at your chart. Now, secondarily, you can always watch it for your sun sign, which will talk about more about your self-expression, your creative self-expression, and your career. And thirdly, and more internally, you can also watch it for your sun sign, so your moon sign, where the energies, they're going to be more interpreted in your inner emotional world. And so they're going to be a little bit less apparent. Nevertheless, still equally very important, but less apparent than, for example, the sun and the ascendant, the rising sign. So with that said, let's jump right into the upcoming energy in the month of August. So August is going to be a very eventful month. There's going to be tension and harmony coming and going. So we will have a bit of everything. The month is going to begin with a big bang when Mars comes into the full conjunction with Uranus and North Node. That's going to be tightening up that T-square once again that is happening between the triple conjunction and Saturn and Mercury. Now, I did talk about that in July astrology, about the collective as well as the personal. So there's a link up there floating somewhere, so please go there and check it out if you would like to know even more. But for now, I'm just going to give you a little bit of, warning. This is a very volatile, explosive energy. So be very careful when you're traveling, when you're dealing with electricity, extreme weather condition could be in the picture. Internet, because the Uranus rules internet, there could be some cyber attacks, hacks, bullies, cyber bullies as well. Anything is connected to internet and electricity can go through a volatile time now. Sport activities as well can be somewhat explosive as well, and accident prone, so to say. So be careful with your words as well. There could be some conflicts about money, land, and material assets, and these conflicts can easily escalate into full-blown argument, or even worse, physicality. There could be some shocks, disruption, and riots can happening that can damage material assets. Now, I can already see in certain countries, people out in the streets demonstrating. Just be very careful that this can easily escalate within a split of a second. Now, rushed decision making may lead you to some sort of breakdowns and breakups as well. The most aspected planet, however, in August is going to be Venus. And so that talks about a lot of activity, a lot of events, and significant changes are happening in love, relationship, and money and materials, again, because that's what Venus rules. Overall, that suggests that the month is going to be quite emotional. So Venus is going to enter Leo on the 11th of August. And so the love and the source of joy becomes Leo-like, which is theatrical, a bit of a game, grand, romantic, and extravagant. We want more love, more adoration, more acknowledgement, and of course, validation. With money, you can become quite generous because, you know, Leo is a royal sign, and as such is quite generous as well. So, you know, so watch out. You know, you might be spending a bit of money on having fun, entertainment, theaters, and sport events as well. Now, we will have a full moon on the 12th of August and a new moon on the 27th of August. And none of these lunations are particularly harmonious. Both feature T-square, which is a very volatile, tense, and very action-oriented configuration. Basically, it's a cosmic battle between 3 or more planets. The full moon on the 12th will reactivate that T-square that I was just talking about, and that happened, you know, throughout the end of July, beginning of August. So that will reactivate that tenseness. So whatever began about 2 weeks ago, especially around the new moon in Leo, now it will come into a full-blown manifestation. Tension that began, now it can climax. And so there will be some time to let go of certain Aquarian issues such as friendships, groups, communities, networks, future hopes and plans and wishes. There will be some tension between your own individual wants and the needs of a group and the needs of a community. Now, the Leo season promotes personal pride, the urge to lead, be out in front and receive attention and recognition, whilst the moon in Aquarius position promotes the collective good, using your skills to help the world to become a better place. So it's quite humanitarian, more humanitarian than personal, and the tension is between these two issues, problems. The big aspect, however, which is the aspect of the year, again in August, is going to be when Mars moves into Gemini, and that is going to happen on the 20th of August. So Mars moving into Gemini it will be there for 8 months. It's going to be going retrograde. I'm not focusing on the retrograde motion in this video, but I'm going to make a separate video how all 12 signs are going to be affected from when Mars goes retrograde. Now, Mars rules our passion, drive, and libido. So the Mars sign shows how we go for our goals, how we take action to achieve what we really want. Now, Mars in Gemini becomes a little quite easily bored, a little scattered, and somewhat unfocused. Gemini is a mental energy. So here Mars will have passion for words, learning, traveling, socializing. There is an increased intellectual stimulation. And so our mind is fired up, where we can use words as weapons. Angry words can fly around, and we want to win arguments with our quick and combative wit. There will be a lot of nervous energy and restlessness, and we all can be on the edge a little bit, or at least nitpicky. Gemini rules hands and arms as well. So to express this energy, you can use your hands and arms for, like, let's say, playing music, musical instruments, playing video games, do archery, which is very, very good for Mars being in Gemini. Sustained interest, however, is not going to be there. There could be lots of interest for reading, however. Documentaries where you can learn a lot of verbal skills that you can use later on for speaking up for your goals and for your desires. Now, the new moon in Virgo is going to happen on the 27th of August. And so this again is going to be a quite tense new moon, a tense new beginning, you know, birthing new endeavors and plans. Mars squares this lunation, and Venus is also square to Uranus. So what does that mean? There will be some powerful passion where you tenaciously going after what you want to achieve. You have a desire to change, to break with the old, to break with the conventional. So because of that, there could be some relationship upsets or even endings. But with all ending comes a new beginnings, which will be birthing out of this insatiable need to meet your passionate desire that wants to get rid of the traditional and go with the new, erratic, and unexpected, unconventional as well. So these were the main energies, and now we're going to move into the 12 signs. So I'm going to be, hi Scorpios. Before I jump right into analyzing your horoscope, I would like to ask you just one question. Would you prefer it if I told you bluntly the truth, how the aspects are happening in the skies, or would you want me to sugarcoat it or even leave out the negatives a little bit, and with that the warnings as well? So I would love to hear your opinion. Please put it down in the comment section below. I do read every single comment. So now let's jump into your horoscope analysis for the month of August. So the sun is going to be in your 10th house, and this is a really good time for recognition for you. The sun is illuminating and gives exposure to the house that he's in. And that is happening this month with Venus together. So Venus, the greater benefic, it's the planet of joy and the source of pleasure, everything that is sweet in life. And so these two very benefic planets are residing in your 10th house of career and public reputation, and authority figures as well. So because of that, the primary focus becomes your career, your achievement. You take pride in everything that you do. Sun is very, very strong in Leo. So, meetings with authority figures, gaining recognition, taking pride in something that you have achieved, it's all could be in the picture. Now, with recognition comes a responsibility. So, you might get a promotion as well. But just remember that, with that responsibility, you need to be mindful as well. But I'm sure that you will live up to everybody's expectation. So generally, we can talk about success in career, popularity in your society, you're very, very visible, and team projects, work, they go well as well. Now, Venus being there as well, it suggests that you are really enjoying that. You're really taking pleasure and joy of these activities. So obviously you probably have done something that you really deserve, and this will bring happiness and joy to your work. You're really enjoying this limelight you're getting now from the authority figures, the bosses, and and you're able to win over their approval this time, because you come across very agreeable, very charming, and very cooperative as well. Now, for some of you, this might mean as an affair at the workplace. It might work for some, might not. Depending on your own circumstances. But Venus is very much supporting you, and really this is the time when you can win over your authority figures as well. You can shine and look very, very good in your social status as well. Mercury is already in your 11th house, and this suggests that your mind is very active, very alert. You have thoughts that are very unusual, very inventive. You have innovative ideas as well. You can be sharing your thoughts with others as well, because that is the house of groups, communities, and your thoughts, your mind is all around, perhaps organizing networkings, groups, communities. You're busy with friends and social activities as well. You probably are thinking quite a lot about your long-term goals as well, or perhaps doing a lot of emails, paperworks, very busy in group activities, networkings, and social gatherings as well. So that's not the time to be behind the scenes for sure for you. And then we're going to have a full moon that is occurring in your fourth house. And so that suggests that your focus from the work situations are going to be grabbed a little bit, at least during a couple of days before and after the full moon. And the full moon is going to occur on the 12th. So something will culminate in your career, in your home situation. Tensions may arise because of you really wanting to focus on your career, because that's where you are having lots of joy and lots of acknowledgement and lots of recognition. But something grabs your attention to your domestic affairs. You need to balance this out. Also, it could be that someone and something will be revealed to you with regards to your home and to your family. A family member can leave now, or full moons are the time when things are culminate, things are manifesting. That's usually the time to let go of something, because there's no growth in that anymore. Now, this full moon also will reactivate that T-square was happening on the from 26th of July onwards. Really, it hasn't stopped happening. It was on the 1st of August, it was reactivated by Mars conjoining Uranus, and now is also reactivated by this full moon. And so this this is all happening in your pivotal houses of fourth house of family, seventh house of partnership, and 10th house of career. So that something could have begun end of July that now culminates, manifest, and that will that might bring some changes in your partnership. It probably has already brought some changes in your work situation as well, and now this is the last activation that is happening, where you have to let go something with regards to your family, or a property perhaps, or an ancestor, or a one of your parents as well. And the big thing is going to happen on the 20th of August, when your ruler planet, Mars, will move into Gemini. Now, Mars usually spends there about seven weeks, and now instead of 7 weeks, it's going to stay there for 7 to 8 months. So that is a huge. It's huge for you because Mars is your ruler planet, and it moves into the 8th house, and this is the house of intensity, major life crisis, major transformations. It's a very intense house, so you will definitely feel it very, very strongly, not only because Mars is ruling your ascendant, it's your ruler planet, but also because this is the natural house of Scorpio, actually. And with that, it will increase the intensity of how you live your life. So something may occur, a crisis situation, a sudden transformation. So you will definitely be transformed by the time Mars leaves Gemini, and that is going to happen only on the 25th of March 2023. So what might you expect? Everything will speed up and everything will intensify, because that's just the nature of Mars, and that's just the nature of 8th house. The 8th house is connected to sexuality, traumas, crisis situation, life and death situation, and other people's money as well. So the money that you haven't worked for could be money from your partner or husband, could be investments, could be some inheritances as well, could be taxes, alimonies. So these sort of things that you haven't earned but somehow you're dealing with it, and somehow you might end up benefit from it. Eighth house is very Scorpionic, and you are Scorpio. For you, it is going to be a quite natural thing. Yeah, you know, you might be involved with the occult or deep topics in your life. You might become very aware of your shadow side, and if you accept them, you can transform them as well, because you that's the purpose of the eighth house, that deep transformation. On the shadow side, do have to mention that you might be involved with illegal activities or psychological trauma or even surgery. You will become so fearless. Any crisis situation you might enter during this phase, you will work through them, and you will work through them with this warrior spirit, because Mars is the fighter, and you will work through them quite fast. So if you take up the changes consciously, then it doesn't have a crisis situation doesn't have to come, except that there are huge changes are happening in your life with that T-square is happening in that pivotal house of yours, partnership, work, and family. If you accept all those changes, could be any sort of life and death situation that will traumatize you and deeply transforms you. So what I'm saying, that it doesn't have to be like that if you accept the changes. But you being Scorpio, Scorpio is a fixed sign, and fixed signs are struggling a little bit to accept the changes, and that's what you need to learn through these 7 to 8 months whilst Mars is going to be in your 8th house. You can become you are already very penetrating, you know, that is the Scorpio qualities. You know, you are looking in the bottom of something, you're digging up secrets as well. You can become, you know, a healer, and you can go somehow during these 8 months, you will go through a transformative experience, such as, I don't know, for example, Kundalini rising, you know, rising the Kundalini energies, you know, which is the energy that comes from the sacrum in the back, and it goes up your spine, shoots up through the chakras, and that can happen, you know, through a sexual intercourse. It doesn't have to be a car crash, but that could be as well. So now, the Kundalini awakening occurs when there are sudden changes in your body, mind, and spirit, and leading you to your gradual transformation. You will become unaware of your own inner essence, and you will become more connected to your higher purpose, basically. But it's so much more than that. You can just look it up in the internet. You might encounter extreme mental situation that creates havoc in your life, but once you overcome it, which you will fast, then you are able to help others as well, to lead them out of the dark night of the soul situation, so called. There's many ways how you can go through life and death situation: by giving birth, becoming pregnant, for some of you but this can occur, you know, become a midwife, work in secret services, becoming a detective, becoming really involved in healing traumas or psychological issues. And so you kind of need to take those routes to have this transformation. So a big, you know, big crisis situation doesn't occur. But as I said, even if it does, you will be able to lead yourself out of it very easily, because your crisis management is second to none. You might end up managing other people's resources as well, because we are talking about, you know, the 8th house, which is, as I mentioned, the other people's money, the money that you haven't first. So you might end up managing them. You might end up having arguments with your ex with regards to other people's, you know, with regards to the shared resources that you have had, especially if you know, if like a deeply transformative experience could be also like a divorce for some of you. It doesn't have to be. So these are the manifestations I can see for you. Definitely it is going to be a very intense 8 months, 7 to 8 months. In at some point, Mars is going to go retrograde as well. And so that's when things will slow down a little bit. Maybe you have to redo something that you haven't done quite perfectly in that scenario. And that will occur between October and November, end of December. I will make another video after I finished this series, where I'm going to provide you with manifestation mantras. Mars in Gemini, after all, is all about using your words correctly and using your words passionately and not offensively. And this could be a little bit, challenging for you, and not just for you, for everybody. If any time during this time you need some help, some support, please don't hesitate to book me in, because of course this is a general reading, and so it's not, everything is not going to apply to you. Using the Mars in the 8th house and Mars in Gemini energies the right way. So yes, stay tuned for that video as well. So then you will have a new moon in your 11th house, and that suggests that you are going to plant the seeds. With the new moon, we always begin a new activity. It's a very good time for you to start a new friendship, to enter a new social circle. It could be a new income for some of you as well, because the 11th house also suggests that the 11th house is also the gains from your career. So that could very well be for you very financial instead of social, but maybe both of them will apply. So basically you will have this push from the 8th house, where with passion, tenaciously, you're going after what you want. And what you want is your new goals, your new income, your new dreams as well. And you will have this very, very intense push from your 8th house, from the house of other people's money, from which is a financial house, where you want to plant the seeds for something new in 11th house activities, such as circles, new circle, new social friends, new networks, new dreams, new goals, or new finances, new gains from your career. So that was it from me, dear Scorpio. I really hope that this helped you understand that really long-term transit and really transformative transit that is happening with the Mars in Gemini for you. Take care, and I shall see you again soon. Hey, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and press the subscribe button for even more videos on astrology.